You're watching a segment of The Splash, Greater West Bloomfield's news magazine show.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Sheena Monnin, and here with me on the show this week is Officer Timothy Shepard of the West Bloomfield Police Department and host of West Bloomfield 911. Thank you for being here with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Sheena. Thank you very much for having me.
Now, I'm going to learn all kinds of new and interesting information because you are part of the Crime Prevention Unit here in West Bloomfield. Now, most of us probably aren't too familiar with that. Can you tell us what that is?
Absolutely. Well, you may think crime prevention and think automatically that police are all crime prevention people.
Yeah.
And we are. So I think in general, all the officers are there for crime prevention. And with most departments these days, there's a specific unit called Crime Prevention Unit. And I'm in that unit for the West Bloomfield Police Department. I've been in the unit now approximately 6 months, so it's fairly new for me. And the position itself is essentially a community liaison position that incorporates getting to know the community on a different level, not necessarily arresting people, but going out and trying to make crime less in the community.
Okay, great. So basically they want to have a point person, like, okay, for businesses, etc., this is the person to work with. Awesome. That makes a lot of sense, for sure. Yeah. What kinds of programs or things do you do to help prevent crime for businesses, schools, etc.?
Sure. So with this position, it's a certified position, so I go and take classes, and I learn how to deal with a variety of different topics that help the businesses or citizens or schools. There's many programs involved, and I'll start out by saying these. One of the things going on right now in the world is crime prevention through environmental design.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's called CEPTED is what is the acronym, and what it is it's essentially taking the design of a building or the
area surrounding the building.
The environment, and using that as a way to reinforce safety within that specific area. So what I mean by that is there's things we can do to protect ourselves that people may or may not know. And this can be for businesses or for residential. And some of those things are, for example, having your trees trimmed up to a certain height so you can see underneath the trees.
Yeah.
So you can see people not hiding. Having your bushes trimmed down to a certain level so people can't hide in there. Having lighting in the environment, more lighting. And so that's just one area of crime prevention that we're trained in. And so what's going on now, what I do essentially on my day-to-day travels in business is I have a new program called Business Watch.
Okay.
And so what Business Watch is I go to all the businesses that I can reach out to, which is hopefully all of them, and I try to get them onto a mailing list, an email list.
Okay.
And so I try to communicate with all the businesses, and they're going to communicate with each other through this email list. Okay, so say, for example, there's a crime that happens somewhere in West Bloomfield Township. And say, for example, it's a larceny from a vehicle. Someone broke into a car and stole something. Okay, so that obviously goes into our records at work, and that's documented. Now, other businesses may not know what's happening. They may not know there's a rash of these going on. Or to be on the lookout for that kind of situation in their own parking lots. And so what this Business Watch group will do is we'll communicate with each other. So essentially it's a communication avenue for businesses and the police department to work together.
They directly know that something has happened instead of, oh, I have to go find out at this website or call here or whatever. That's amazing.
Yeah, because they may not know. For example, say there's counterfeit money in the environment, right? So say a business has got a bunch of 20s that were counterfeit. Okay, so that business will know, obviously, but every other business may not know.
Yeah.
So then they can be on the lookout for these kind of crimes, and it'll not only protect them, but it's a communication line for all of us, including the citizens. Now, the citizens aren't involved in this list, but eventually we may have a list where people can get that information as well. And there's Nixle and things like that that are out there.
That's great. Wonderful. Tell me a little bit about Alice. What is Alice?
So Alice is a program that's, I'll start with this. today in the environment of schools, businesses, there's active assailants.
Okay.
We call them active assailants, but it could be an active shooter. It could be someone that goes into a business or a school and then tries to inflict mass casualties, or not necessarily only a mass casualty, but just try to hurt the people they work with or go to school with. So in the old days, excuse me, in the old days, the idea was to go into a room and lock down, be quiet, and hide. And which that is still part of this ALICE program, but the government and private businesses have come up with a new program called ALICE. It's an acronym, and it's Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. And so we in West Bloomfield have endorsed this in terms of we're starting to use this and teach this. So we have multiple officers, including myself, who are certified ALICE instructors. We go to, right now it's primarily schools, so we're going to deal with the West Bloomfield School District, and we're going to teach the schools how to handle these situations.
And then hopefully through this knowledge be able to prevent further damage from happening. That's really admirable. I love that. So real quick, you also have something else exciting that's happening. You are hosting our West Bloomfield 911 show. Tell us a little bit, just real quick, about how cool it is to have people come on the show and how important it is for the community to be able to get to know officers such as yourselves and understand a little bit about what's happening around here.
Thanks for bringing that up. I'm a police officer, and you can tell probably that I'm not trained in TV just by our interview here, but we do have the program that's through the community. It's West Bloomfield 911. We bring on people with a variety of different backgrounds to try to get the citizens of West Bloomfield to see all the things going on. Some of those are police related, some of those are business related, some of them are just going ons in the community, and it's been interesting transition from me as a police officer into that environment.
Good. Well, you're doing a great job, and we love the show, and thank you so much for being here today to talk about crime prevention. It is an extremely important topic.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Once again, everyone, we've been speaking with Officer Timothy Shepard of the West Bloomfield Police Department and host of West Bloomfield 911.
Thanks for watching a segment of The Splash. To catch the entire show or other segments, watch us on Comcast Channel 15 or AT&T Channel 99, or look us up online at thesplash.tv and listen to us on WBLD 89.3, the all-new Lakes FM.